All right, let's get right into it. We are breaking down Dr. Robert Glover's playbook for dating. And honestly, it's all about one thing: how to turn that gut-wrenching fear you get when you think about walking up to a woman into an actual plan of action. So if you feel like you're just winging it and crashing and burning, this is your new strategy.
First things first, let's just get this out of the way. If you feel like you suck at dating, you are not alone. You're actually in the majority. Dr. Glover says most men on this planet are in the exact same boat. This isn't some deep personal flaw, it's a skill you were probably never taught. That's it, period.
You know, it all really boils down to this one single, paralyzing fear. The fear that you're gonna mess it up, look like a total idiot, and then face that brutal sting of rejection. This is the monster in your head, the thing that makes your attempts feel so damn awkward. Or, even worse, keeps you from doing anything at all.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This was literally Dr. Glover's life. He talks about how he'd obsess over a woman for weeks, just building this insane amount of pressure in his head. Then he'd make some clumsy last-ditch approach, practically apologizing just for asking her out. And of course, it would fail. He'd feel like a loser and just retreat back into his shell. Does that sound at all familiar?
So how in the world do you break that cycle? Well, it's not about finding some perfect pickup line, I can tell you that. It's about a fundamental shift in your entire mindset. It's about moving from a place of fear to a place of science. This is the paradigm shift.
So here it is, the core change. The old mindset, right? It turns every single interaction into this high-stakes, pass-or-fail test, where any rejection feels like a final grade on your self-worth. It's absolutely terrifying. But the new mindset? You're just a scientist collecting data. Your goal isn't to succeed, your goal is to learn. A rejection isn't failure, it's just a null hypothesis. It just means that specific approach didn't work. Time to run the next experiment.
This one thought right here, it changes the entire game. The moment you start treating dating like a lab, you take your ego right out of the equation. You're not trying to prove that you're worthy, you're just a scientist running tests and observing what happens. And that frees you up to actually do something.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Well, it all starts inside your own head. Before you can act differently out there, you have to dismantle the bad code that's been running your life in here. So it's time for part 1, mastering your mind. And I'm serious, take a second and really ask yourself this. What are the stories you just repeat in your head over and over that keep you sitting on the sidelines? Because that inner critic you've got, he's probably a lying bastard, and it is time to call him out on his BS.
Let's put a name to the enemy. We're talking about self-limiting beliefs. And listen, these are not objective truths. They are distorted stories you've somehow accepted as fact. Thoughts like, I'm not good-looking enough, or I'm just not interesting. Those are the mental cages that keep you from even trying in the first place. But here's the thing. You can fight back. Here's how. The next time that fear pops up, just stop. Isolate the exact thought. Write the damn thing down on a piece of paper and stare it in the face. Then, attack it like a prosecutor in a courtroom. Where is the hard evidence that this is 100% true, all the time? You'll find it's mostly bullshit. Then you replace it with something realistic, like, yeah, she might reject me, but I'll survive. And you know what? I'll learn something from it.
Okay, so once you start cleaning up all the junk in your head, it's time to get out into the real world. Mindset is absolutely critical, but nothing changes without action. Welcome to part 2, perfecting your practice.
You have to stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. That paralysis by analysis is the killer of all progress. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Your first few attempts will probably be clumsy as hell. Good. That's just more data for your experiment.
And let's be crystal clear about something. This is not a magic pill. Dr. Glover is incredibly blunt about it. He says it takes tons of trial and error and lots of fucking practice. You don't get good at this stuff by reading a book. You get good by doing it over and over and over again.
So where do you practice? The world is your new lab. Step 1 is super simple, but completely non-negotiable. You have to get out of the house. You can't meet anyone playing Xbox. Then start changing up your routine. Linger a bit in public places like coffee shops or parks, and make it a habit to just talk to people. Baristas, old guys, anyone at all. You're just building that social muscle. And listen, you don't jump straight to asking for a number. That's insane. You start with small experiments that push your comfort zone just a little bit. Think of it like leveling up. First, your only mission is to make eye contact and smile. That's it. Then you graduate to saying hello. Then you ask a simple question.
Each level builds on the last one, and it makes the whole process manageable instead of terrifying.
This right here completely redefines what a win is. When you approach someone, your goal is not to get a number. Your goal is to simply run the experiment to get the practice in. By letting go of that desperate need for a specific result, you automatically become less needy, more authentic, and ironically, way more attractive. Every single attempt is a win because you got more practice.
So, we've covered the mindset and we've covered the practice. But here's the real secret, the part they don't always tell you. As you get better at this, the benefits are going to bleed into every single corner of your life. This is about way more than just getting dates. This is the real transformation.
I mean, Dr. Glover says it himself, and this is so powerful. The skills you're building here, confronting fear, taking initiative, learning how to handle rejection, they don't just stay in a little box labeled dating. They upgrade your entire operating system as a man.
First up, the confidence and social skills you develop, well, they make you better at your job. You become more assertive, a much better communicator. And what was the result for him? His income shot way up.
And think about it. When you're no longer afraid to talk to people, your entire world just explodes with possibility. New opportunities and adventures start finding you because you're finally out in the world where they can actually happen.
So what's the cumulative effect of all this? Well, it's a profound increase in your overall happiness and just your satisfaction with life. You're not just passively letting life happen to you anymore. You're becoming an active participant in your own story.
And here it is, the ultimate payoff. Yeah, the desire to get laid or find a girlfriend might be what gets you started, but the real prize is the man you become along the way. You're developing the social and emotional intelligence that just makes you a more competent, resilient, and interesting person in every possible way.
So that's the framework, a proven path from fear and inaction to a life of confidence and opportunity. The only question left is, are you ready to put on the lab coat and start your experiment?